This is the true story of 5 grad students
assembled to work together
in a group for 1 semester
on group projects.
This is what happens
when people stop being students and start being professionals.
The real world, Mercer.
To be honest, when we first talked about doing group work, I was a little worried because all through my undergrad classes, I got stuck with people that expected me to do all the work. So I kind of stopped trusting people, started taking everything on my own, and I do kind of the same thing as a manager. I don't trust people to do their part because every group I've been in, they don't.
I really didn't know what this class entailed when I first started it.
Working with a group, I mean, it's something you do have to do as a manager a lot, so it's something that does come up a lot, so it's good to work with the group.
Working in groups, I've never really liked working with a group. Undergraduate, I really hated it. I always ended up either being never knowing what we were doing or having to show up. I hated having to come back down to campus for extra group work.
So I'm used to doing all the work by myself. So when we first were told that we were going to have to do group work, I get a little apprehensive about it, and I'm thinking, oh great, here it is, Amy's going to do it all again, all by herself.
The group I wound up with was actually a pretty diverse group. We had a bunch of different feelings, different approaches, different ways of handling all these projects, and kind of kept it interesting.
with the dogs.
It's weird.
We need the regular group.
That big question.
We do a lot of work in here, working in teams. I didn't know how well I would actually do in the class and working in a team because it was so long. It's been about 10 years for me, and I'm the old guy in the group.
It was really interesting to me. This is the first time I've ever been in a class where everybody was eager to do their part.
And this group's been really good about working together to meet and to know that we need to get stuff done when we're there.
Our group was very diverse. Everybody brought different things to the table.
Class in general was just kind of different than anything we've ever done.
Everybody had creative ideas. Everybody was eager to get the job done. It was a really good experience for me, and I really think that it's going to help me as a manager because now I can trust people a little bit more. It's still something I need to work on, but I definitely feel like I can trust people just a little bit more.
I really think it's great that Amy, even though she had a lot going on, her mother's sick and she's sick herself, so that was really something to respect, that she still came to class. Even though when she couldn't come to class, she still did a really good job communicating. So that's something that I'll remember, is always stay in good communications and talk with your group members. That makes everyone feel more connected. It was almost like she had more connection even though she wasn't here than most of us who were here, so it's kind of funny.
My schedule's very difficult to work with, and some people in our group have very difficult to deal with schedules, but we got around it. Found ways to work. When we couldn't meet in person, we'd meet over email, cell phone calls, text messages. So I just think we've come a long way, and we're able to communicate with each other regardless.
The group was amazing. They understood. They worked with me, and it never really posed a problem. I think it was more of a problem for me mentally because I wanted to be there than it actually was.
As far as working as a team, on a team with everybody, it has been a nice experience. I got to meet some new people and open myself up to more than just technical work.
And everyone was very cooperative, and everyone was very, I'm looking for the word, flexible.
Lazy.
That was only Steven.
I mean, I was an extrovert, I was an introvert, I don't even remember what N stood for, but I was an N, I was a J, I was a P, I was a T. I was every category. I mean, I really just feel like I'm some sort of schizophrenic, crazy person, but I'm okay with that.
But we did have a class project on toxic waste where we had to work together as a team and put the toxic waste in the neutralization zone, which was a fun activity. I think
most memorable experience was definitely the toxic waste group work, because they didn't know what to expect. Derek was like, man, group work, and he was like, I'm really old. I hadn't been in school for like 10 years. So I was like, man, I was like, wow. Because he's like so old. He was like, so he wasn't sure about teamwork because like he hadn't had to do group building, I guess, besides at work, like in school, really, in like, I don't know, like a decade. So even though he was really like, kind of like, I don't know what we should do, and like, I was like, man, I don't know what I'd do if I were doing group work. So I was like, just go online, look for some stuff. And then he shows up to class with a bucket and some rope, and I'm like, oh man, what has he got for us to do?
KKK.
And it was actually really cool. We made a circle, and we had to get the toxic waste out with 2 ropes and a bungee cord, and it was cool.
You know, I have group members that were willing to get embarrassed to ride along with me, and when you have people like that behind you, I think it's a wonderful thing. Tear.
And I thank you, Dr. Mack, for helping us.
I actually would recommend this class. I mean, I think it's a good breakup from a traditional MBA class, and I think it gives you kind of the interrelationship, personal skills that you really need to be successful in business. So.